Hi, Forest Heights STEM Academy students and parents. Welcome to the Engineering Corner. Today, we are going to discuss the steps of the engineering design process. I know some of you have heard of it, and some may have not, but these are the steps that we use when we're trying to solve real-world problems. So, what exactly is the engineering design process? Well, it's a series of steps engineers and teams use to solve a real-world problem. And we at FHSA, we are problem solvers. Our students are problem solvers, our teachers are problem solvers, and our parents are problem solvers. So, let me give you the steps of the design process. Let's go over the first step. First step is defining the problem. And that's usually where we're establishing some background research and we're establishing criteria and constraints. This is where the heavy research goes on to see what's been done to solve this problem. Is it a valid problem? So that's the first step. Just the first step. Second step, generate concepts. And this is where you're brainstorming to come up with ideas with your team. Sketches of various ideas are created and everybody's input is valued. This is a time where you see people in a group discussing ideas jumping out, and it may be an idea combined with another idea. This is an exciting time. So that's the second step, generating concepts. The third step, developing a solution. And this is where you have selected a final design or a prototype or a solution to the problem. And you're usually doing this when you'll create a final technical sketch with labels, measurements, and descriptions of your prototype on how it operates and what it actually does. So that's the third step. So the first step is defining the problem. The second step is generating concepts. The third step is developing a solution. Fourth step, in Project Lead the Way, we combine like kind of two steps together just to simplify it for K through 8. But the fourth step is build and test a prototype. And this is where we construct a prototype or a solution and then you test it. And so usually when they test it, I usually tell my students to test it at least 3 times and see what went wrong and if it actually works. And so that's the fourth step. So we have define the problem, generate concepts, develop a solution, and build and test a prototype. And then we get to, after we build and test the prototype, then we go to the fifth step, which is evaluating the solution. And this is the step where we look at all our test results and we see if we need to either go back to previous steps in the design process. We may have to generate more concepts. We may have to develop a better solution, maybe modify it or adjust it. And this is the time when we make decisions on those by looking at our test results from the previous step. And then the final step is presenting the solution. And this is where you give a demonstration of how your solution works and how your prototype works. Now, here's the thing. With the engineering design process, it never ends. It doesn't end. There's always things, there's a lot of things in the world that could be innovated. And you will always have to apply the engineering design process. You'll have to do background research. You have to generate concepts. You have to develop a solid solution, and then you will have to build and test that and then evaluate to see if you need to make any changes. So the engineering design process never ends. It's always something you can make better. And that's what we do when we see problems in the world. And that is from the Engineering Corner. Now I want to leave you with this. I challenged my 8th graders to create a video on the steps of the design process. And I had a few students that did TikTok videos. So I want to leave you with a student that did a TikTok video. And so with that, my challenge for this week is for parents and students to create a TikTok video describing the steps of the design process, and you can tag me in it. And my tag number is right down here, and I will make sure it's appropriate, and make sure it goes over the steps of the design process. And I will see who has the best video, and hopefully I can show it next week. See you later. Thank you for coming to the Engineering Corner. Bye.
Word. Yeah.
Word. Show me how you work. Show me how you work. Show me how you work.